Welcome back to Sustainable Energy. In this episode, we are looking at how nature-based solutions can help the construction industry go greener on a larger scale. Let's head over to Vancouver, a Canadian city turning its green credentials into action, and where one architect is using repurposed wood to build skyscrapers. Let's find out why and how.
Built the first tall wood building in North America. And since then, there's been others that have been built around the world. I'm Michael Green. Our company's Michael Green Architecture, and we also run a school called Design Build Research. You know, I guess I got into architecture because I loved making things, I loved building things, I loved the creativity of that, but I also loved the idea that through that I could be serving my community. This building uses a material called cross-laminated timber, or CLT, we call it. And what it is taking small pieces of wood, gluing them together at right angles to each other to make these giant panels, 10 feet wide, 60 feet long, massive panels. And what that does by making them so big is it allows us to tilt up and build this building very quickly, very efficiently, and very robustly, which is what we want to do. It's a building that we want to last for centuries. When we decided what we would wrap the wood with to protect it, because you need to protect it from weather, we decided it would be brick for this building. The products we make are really big engineered products. They allow us to build really big buildings, in fact, skyscraper buildings. But also that means that we can take small trees that maybe are damaged by the mountain pine beetle here in North America, which is a huge problem actually triggered by climate change, so trees that are dead are dying. Forestry is a complicated animal, and different parts of the world, in some places that it's not sustainable, we're not replanting at a fast rate. But when we get it right, meaning we're replanting, we can actually create a harmony where we're growing more trees, young trees are sequestering carbon faster than old trees, and we can actually create a cycle of planting trees and using wood that actually captures more carbon than if we just left the forest as a native forest.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
In front of us is one of the great moments in Canada where you've got Canada geese crossing the street and everybody has to wait. This is our office. We have about 65 people here in the office working on projects of all different types and scales. We have several projects for tall wood buildings in France and in Eastern Canada and the United States. Building codes are changing to allow us to build really tall wood buildings. That's a big game changer. The United States has changed its code. Canada's changed its code. Throughout Europe, they're changing the codes. China's changed the code. These are the things that we need to see happen in order for us to change the way we build and start to address this climate crisis that we're all ultimately in. Wood is an insulator as compared to steel and concrete, which are highly conductive materials. So it actually resists the amount of movement of heat, either from outside in a hot climate or from inside out in a cold climate.
We were one of the first municipalities to take on the STEP code, so all our buildings need to be at STEP level 3. We also have been an early adopter of looking at tall wood timber buildings, so those are buildings that can be made out of wood up to 12 stories tall. So sustainability in all forms emulates out through all that we do in terms of our built environment. When we were expanding City Hall, it was really important for us that who was hired also reflected that core value.
I think our industry is committed to being influential in the climate conversation globally. One of the things we really advocate for is a shifting of our mindset of how we invest into big thinking to solve climate change in new ways with new innovations around growing materials.